I feel like before I came into this video, I was of the mind that if you have one, you have them all. That's crazy, bro. So we have here this bare bones beat. I'm going to turn off Hex FX. So we're just going to focus on this chord progression here on this synth. So I decided to go with the preset made by Decap called Wide and Weird because I would like to have more width on my just like spread out my synth. And right here we've got a halftime going into a chorus, going into a plate reverb, going into a tape delay, and you can shuffle them around if you want. And then there's the optional backspin. So let's just hear what that does to my synth. Now on. Let's hear it with the beat. Doesn't really go with the beat. So I want to try and recreate this, and I've tried out its, I guess, comparators. And so right here we've got Beam, EFX Motions, and Transit 2. Let's start off with Beam. So I wanted to get the halftime in there. So I set up a halftime here and just pitched everything down. I added some grain because if you check in here by going to params, you can see that there's some grain settings here as well. So basically I just tried to recreate all of these and it didn't go to plan, just so you know, which is what has led me to my final kind of decision about Serato Hex FX and just multi-effect plugins overall, because I feel like before I came into this video, I was of the mind that if you have one, you have them all. Then we go back into grains, using this grain for the chorus because Beam doesn't have a actual chorus node that you can add on here. I kind of like created one myself here by using size and width and blah 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 in grains. Then I added a reverb and then grains again for the delay section, as you can see right here. So let's just hear and do a comparison of what Beam does. And Wide and Weird on Hex FX. So what I get from that is I didn't truly get the halftime down right. I did find it was a bit difficult. The parameters are so different in here to what I'm used to seeing on a halftime. There are a lot of plugins that have a halftime button that you just hit and it just does what it does. So let's compare it to EFX Motions. I did most of the work in the repeat effects area. Okay, so here we have the halftime, and then I tried to create like a chorus and a delay, but the one downside to this and trying to create this preset is that I couldn't add a reverb. You can only have 2 effects going at once and then you're kind of cooked. It would be good if you could have had as many as you wanted here. Now I couldn't, as you see, I didn't really recreate it, but I really do like this. So I'm going to go ahead and save this preset anyway, because it sounds pretty cool. Transit 2 is probably the one that has the most, I'm able to do the most when it comes to effects, because I have so much options here and you can change it from LFO, follower, sidechain, sequencer, or whatever you want to do. There's a lot you can do with this. And what I discovered as I got to this point was none of these guys are the same. They all do unique things. Hear how the Transit 2 version sounds. I really like that. That's got really like a nice lo-fi warp feel, but it's still not quite the wild and weird. And what I did on Transit 2, by the way, I almost forgot to say, I added warp for like a half-timey effect, which was very difficult to recreate. Digital chorus, just like in Hex FX, reverb, delay, then I added a bit of spread to just kind of get as close to the sound as possible. So as you can hear, I was unsuccessful in fully recreating it, but I got close. What I could do if I really wanted to get it right exactly how I wanted it is I'd turn off warp, I would turn off all of the halftime that I have, and I would just throw halftime in front of, you know, I'll just put the halftime plugin, but that's cheating. I said to one of my friends on Discord, if you've got one, then you have them all. I don't think that anymore. I don't think that at all. And one of the reasons I'll say that is because if we look at Serato, and I really like this, I really like what it does right out the box, right? It immediately, you get this really nice sound. It's like Beam and RC20 had a baby, and then we get this, and maybe Looperator. Okay, I really like that you can go into the parameters, but you can also just go to one knob. Here's the thing that sets this apart from all of them. There are no macros. You can't macro anything. And one thing that all the others have in common, they are like very macro centric. Trying to recreate all of this is like almost making these look like they're not as superior as Hex FX. But in actuality, these aren't being used to their full potential. Dynamics in mix, in Transit 2, that's something that's very unique. When you come to EFX Motions, it's all about setting up macros. You have 2 macros here per effect, and you can set them up in so many different ways. You got a sequencer, you've got a randomizer, you've got so many drop down functions and how you want them to look. And the same with Beam. Like Beam is very centered around macros. So all of these guys have macros and they really work around macros, whereas Serato FX is more about, I guess in a way, instant gratification, where you have these really specific settings that get you where you need to be. I think that's cool too. You straight up hit one of these and you're getting taken to a place immediately that you want to be in. So I think that's really cool. Let's see what this does to my drums. That's crazy, bro. So what I'll say about Serato SFX is I actually really like it. I didn't think I was gonna see anything new or any new ideas in it, because look how many multi-effects plugins I have already. I think also that some of them are really good for like a specific thing more than other things. For EFX Motions, I like to use that on overheads, hi-hats, background effect. When it comes to Transit 2, I use that more for transitions and build-ups, pretty much. And then when it comes to Beam, I like to focus that on synths. I think Beam is really good. If you group all of your melodic stuff and then you put Beam on top of it, you can get a really good vibe going. Hex FX is really good at that as well. But also, as we just heard, I think that if I end up buying this, I'll probably be specifically having it on my snares. That's where it would fit in my workflow. All of these, you're using different engines. So one delay does not sound like another delay. One reverb does not sound like another reverb, right? So that's something that you have to take into account too. If you're only looking to get one of these, you need to, well, try them out and then kind of figure out like which one sounds the best to you. Think of it like picking a compressor. Some compressors, people like the tone that brings out more than another compressor. That's why a lot of people like the 1176 over just the standard stock compressor in Ableton. So something to think about. Anyway, which multi-effects plugin do you think is the best? Which one are you buying or do you already have? Are you planning to get Hex FX regardless? Let me know in the comments. If you like any of the music you heard in this video today, you can find it on my Bandcamp, links in the description. If you want to join the crew, like the video, subscribe, it's up to you. I've been Piccolo Black.